Hey, welcome back to the My Inner Struggle podcast. I'm your host, Laura Ferri. Today, I'm sitting down with someone who brings a whole new kind of clarity and confidence to the world of marketing. The amazing Shelby McFarland, the marketing broker, author, and CEO, and a woman who truly understands what it takes to build a brand from the inside out. Shelby isn't just about aesthetics or algorithms. She's about alignment. She's about connection. She's about helping business owners show up in a way that feels true to who they are while still creating real results. And that's why I wanted to have her on the podcast, because marketing can feel overwhelming, confusing, and messy, especially when you're growing a business and growing yourself at the same time. Shelby brings simplicity, honesty, and genuine heart to all of it. In today's episode, we dive into entrepreneurs' mindset, authenticity, marketing, and the lessons we all had to learn when stepping through this the hard way. Whether you're a business owner or just someone navigating the online world with a little more intention, this conversation is going to give you something to take with you. So when you're ready, grab a cup of coffee and come get uncomfortable with me. Hey, Shelby, thank you for being here. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Hey, what's up? I am Shelby McFarland. I am a full-time mama and a CEO of a digital marketing agency and now author of Market Like a Boss. So I have a full schedule, full calendar, all color coded, all the things. So that way I know exactly what hat I am wearing in that moment.
I love that. I love the color coding. That really speaks to me. Are you a fan of office supplies? Because I kind of love them, I have to say. Like the color coding thing goes hand in hand. But yeah.
Yes. So in school, I was like so excited for school supply season. Like as soon as they hit Walmart, I was like, yes, I'm getting all the cute pens and all the color coordinated things. Now that I'm like literally on the computer all the time and typing, I couldn't tell you the last time I wrote. I'm pretty sure I had to write my name at a networking event a couple weeks ago, and I was like, my handwriting is absolutely
It's getting
terrible.
out of control. Yeah.
It's so bad, and it was already bad, but I was like so office supplies to me is now like, a really cute keyboard, mouse, a microphone,
Yeah.
you
I
know.
Yeah, well, and we were talking a little bit beforehand too, because obviously we overlap in some of the same capacities. But I know
Yeah,
like some of the things that I love to do for, like, well, it's aesthetically pleasing to me, but in my Asana calendars, whether it's for me or some of my clients, all of those different tasks or whatever are color
yeah,
coded, so it's kind of the same thing carrying over. Yeah,
yes.
it's good time. So what is it that you do exactly? So you mentioned your
Mhm,
book. So where
yes.
does that tie into your business?
Yeah, so, I started my business. I'm celebrating 10 years, actually, February. I know, it's crazy. It's gone by
Congratulations.
really fast. Thank you. I've been in digital marketing, or I should say marketing, for 13 or I guess 14 years by the time February gets here. And I had a window tint shop that I actually made successful through old school marketing. So we did the yellow pages, we did networking, we did TV ads. I was on the news a lot. So really just that old school way. I like to say old school, but still does work. And then Facebook started coming around. That was before it was called Meta. Then I learned how to do the Facebook pages and all that. And then I started my agency. And then I was one of the first 5 agencies in my state to actually offer digital marketing, which is super cool. And I've been doing it now for 10 years. And I literally have some of my clients from 10 years ago still. And let me tell you, those OGs, I'm like, I didn't even know what I was doing, honestly. And some days I still don't think I got it all figured
Well,
out.
everything changes too, right? So you have to
Yes.
sort of roll with that and change your approach and your
Yeah.
however with the algorithms and everything else.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it's
Back
hard.
then, God, back then, just think about, I'm sure you were doing it too. Like the algorithm back then was so easy. Like you made a post and like 100 people shared it in 3 seconds. Now you make a post and you're like, I'm sorry, we're like 14 days behind the algorithm, you know? And it's just
Mhm.
like more of a reaction now versus like I mean, I can't tell you what the next algorithm's going to look like. I can't tell you what it looks like today versus yesterday. It's just like you got to figure it out as we go. And sometimes it gets a little complicated, but you just got to be able to know that you are confident enough. I have to tell myself I am confident enough and I'm
Yeah.
smart enough and I can do this and I am the best in my business. And, just making sure that I feel secure in who I am to be able to perform for my clients for sure.
So that's interesting because we're all about
Yeah.
personal growth. So, what led you to that? Or how do you practice that? Or how do you get
Mm,
through that on a daily basis, being a mom, being a business owner,
yeah.
supporting all of your clients, your staff, like all of that? What does that look like for you?
So some weeks it looks really easy, and a lot of weeks it looks really hard. I'll even talk about a couple weeks ago, I was just having a terrible week. And when I mean like a terrible week, just like I was full of anxiety, I was full of stress. There wasn't anything specific going on. It was just my body was just like going through, I don't know, it was like just some kind of probably stuff with the universe. The moon was probably in a weird phase. I don't know. We
Yeah.
don't know, right? I was just like, something was going on. And when I hired my business coach a few years ago, I would get so frustrated. I'd be like, I don't know how to balance. Like, how do I balance my personal life with my business life? And that was before my kid was even born or even, conceived. And so he said, listen, we're going to take out the word balance. We're going to use the word harmony. He said, sometimes your or your wife, husband, whoever, they'll get more of your attention. And sometimes your business will get more of your attention, but it's all about harmony. Because if you think about balance, we're like, oh, everything has to be 50-50. We got to make sure it all gets our attention equally. But that's not the case. And so now that I'm a mom, it's like I've got all these things pulling, and I have to remind myself listen, it's okay. Today, your kid didn't get as much from you as what she did yesterday. But you know what? You're still a great mom. And it's just like making sure I'm affirming myself. You know what? Your kid, like right now, today, told you she's sick in the other room. So she's gotten my attention the last couple days more so than my business has. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. My business, my clients are still there. They're happy. You're just not giving them as much attention, but it's okay. You're a great boss. You're a great marketer. You're a great person, and just affirming myself and understanding that I'm not perfect, even though I wish I was. Don't we all? We all wish we were.
Think so, but I don't
Yeah.
think I strive for perfection like at all, right? And like you
Well,
said,
good
that
for you.
balance thing, I do
Yeah.
use the word balance, but I like, you know,
Yeah.
what you
Of
use is
course.
harmony.
Yeah.
But as moms, as business owners, even if, as you said, even if you weren't a mom,
Mhm.
there's
Mhm.
different things that are going to need your attention on different days of the week.
Absolutely.
And it's just pouring into whatever is most important at the time and then maintaining
Mhm.
that foundation for everything else. Because when you have that foundation of, I don't even know how to explain it, but that foundation behind you or underneath you, I should say, supporting you,
Yeah.
whether it be your team or your systems, all those
Yep.
types of things, that really, really helps. And of course, you're creating that foundation for your clients, right? Because they
Yeah.
have that, for instance, on social media, you do social media management. If they have
Mhm.
that base of everything, they don't have to worry about that. That's kind of like on autopilot. And then I'm sure you have those types of things for yourself and your own business
Yeah.
that you rely on, your support, your staff, things like that, so that everything's still running, and you can
Yes.
give that attention to your daughter if you need to, or your child if you need to, on those days that they're not doing their best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your book.
Yeah. So my book's called Market Like a Boss. It is all 10 chapters full of information that I've learned over the last 10 years. Essentially, the person that needs to read this is going to be a small business owner that's wearing all the hats. So they may not be ready to hire an agency. They may not have the budget for an agency, but like they take this book and they're going to understand if I just do these simple things, then I'll be able to market myself good enough to get to the point to where I need an agency. Another person that I have noticed, or another type of person I've noticed buying them, are like the assistants or admins that people have in their office, quote unquote, doing the marketing, which I have my own opinion of, but those that is still the case. And so because those people are not really marketing heavy, like they didn't go to school for it or
Right.
they don't have any experience in it, this book will help them understand that, like you said, foundation of the marketing and how to set that up for their bosses in that business. And then I also have been giving it away to college kids that have marketing degrees or about to graduate with their marketing degree just because you can go to school for marketing, especially digital marketing. You can get a degree in that now, but you don't have real life experience. So with my book, there's actual real life stories of like, this is where I succeeded in this way. This is where I failed in this way. And they can learn from my mistakes and my successes and technically use it as their way of like, hey, listen, I read this book and this is what they did. And they can use it in their internship or their new job or something like that.
Right. Which is great
Yeah,
because, there are so many business owners just starting out. They clearly cannot
absolutely.
afford to have,
Yeah.
someone solely for marketing or social media
Hmm.
management. And we all have to start somewhere until we can take it to the next level. So that's great that you have that resource there for those people, those
Yeah.
business owners, and whether it's their support or not.
Hmm.
It could be also something probably good if you're thinking about starting a business, maybe getting
Yes.
that knowledge in beforehand,
Hmm.
before you're diving in, just to kind of put it in your back pocket. And of course, things are going to change, right? Like,
Yes.
even if somebody went, as you said, if they have a degree in marketing, that real life experience is really what is going to change things, really. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It was interesting writing it because I was thinking back. I mean, I used examples from 8 or 9 years ago, and I was like, oh my God, like, what was I thinking back then?
Going
And
replaying that in your head.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, what was I even like? Why did I think that was going to work? Like, that's crazy. My editor, she's like, I think you can dig deeper. And I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to face the fact that I failed, you know? But it's also very humbling of going like, "Girl, you, like, came this far, like, look at you, like, from there," and it can help people understand that just shifting that mindset for me helped me become more successful, and I've even noticed that in this book when I was reading it through for the last time that it was like, "Oh, wow," like, just the changes that I've made over 10 years, it's kinda cool to see that and to be proud of myself. I mean, just writing a book in general, if anybody's thinking about doing that, I've wanted to do it my entire life. I didn't think I could do it. And once I have, I'm like, okay, girl, you a little baddie. I'm like, okay, you got this.
Yeah. If the thing if if you put your mind to it, I think it's not just the motivation, but coming up with a plan, right? To do that. And we often, as business owners, we fail more than we succeed. So looking in that rear view just for a few minutes, just to see like, okay, yeah. And people can learn from your mistakes. That's why you're able to
Hmm.
share it, right? So it's that failing forward kind of like motto, right? Because there are so many things that I've done in business too that I was like, yeah, that wasn't the right that wasn't the
Right.
right move. Clearly, I had to learn my lessons or whatever, but that's why we do what we do and we can share it with our audiences to say, yeah, that's probably not the best way to do it. I published my book earlier this year and there's so many other people like once you do something everybody's like I've been wanting to do that like that how
Yes.
and I was like I would start if you were going to do that I would start from the beginning because mine is a memoir
Yeah.
and I sort of started
Okay.
where I was at the time and then like
Hmm.
move forward and then I had to go backwards and I was like yeah that probably wasn't the best way to do that and I mean I didn't even know what it was going to turn into when I started it but going
Yeah.
into something and going, okay, I'm going to do this. Let me start here in these steps and how to get through that. But when you're doing something the first time, you're
Yeah.
going to make mistakes over and over and over again, all different ones, costly ones and some
Yeah.
not, you know.
Yes.
But that's the beauty of just being able to navigate it yourself. I think that's part of the reason I love owning my own business too, because
Hmm.
I can do it when I want to or the way I want to.
Yes.
If you had like one good tip that you wanted to share from your book. So say you are
Hmm.
talking to the business owner that is wearing all the hats right now and there was like one thing that you could pull from your book that would be like the golden nugget of information that
Yeah.
you would be willing to share, like what would that be?
So it would be the full chapter 5. It's titled "What Separates Bosses from the Rest," but it is my main mission and my main message that I always get across through all my platforms, and it's about consistency. If people show up consistently online, then their clients know exactly what to expect from them. Some people think I'm crazy, but I'm like, listen, I do social media for a living. If I didn't post to social media, why the heck are you going to hire me to do your social media? If you
Right.
are an HVAC company or an electrician and you may not like social media, I understand that, but people are relying on you and wanting to know who you are before they ask you to come into their house. Like they want to get to know you. So it's if you're showing up consistently online, they're already going to have enough education about you to feel comfortable to get you into their house.
Uh-huh.
And I think that that's super important because if we're showing up consistently on social media, that's great. But then if we're showing up in that way in other areas of our life, we're going to get healthier. We're going to be better people. We're going to be better parents. We're going to be better business owners. Like everything just mimics that one consistent place that you're doing. And I've noticed that. Like if I quit doing my Shelby time, so that's like working out, going for a walk, riding my Peloton, something like that. Like I take an hour of my day. It's Shelby time. It may be meditating. It may just be me going out to my backyard with my bare foot in the freaking grass. Like
Huh?
I am trying to ground myself for an hour. And I've noticed if I'm not consistent in that, I don't show up in my business like I should.
Yeah.
I don't show up as a mom like I should. So it goes beyond digital marketing. It's really just you as a person showing up for yourself consistently will also roll over to the other areas of your life for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. If one thing that I say to my clients too is if you're not doing anything on social media, it looks like you don't care, I think, in
Yeah.
my opinion. And that's
Yeah.
me like as a customer. Or like,
I agree.
are they even still in business? They posted like 3 months ago. Like what's
Mhm.
happening? Because it's just as important, if not more than any of your other kind of marketing, I think.
Well,
Do you
yeah.
think, am I wrong in that and saying that?
No, you are not wrong. No. And I use the example in my book of a restaurant. Like if you are showing up consistently on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, you've got beautiful pictures of your food, you've got all these great reviews. And so I'm going to choose to spend my $200 that night with you on a date night for a special occasion. So I show
Mhm.
up, then your waiter's rude and then, like, the food doesn't look anything like you've posted on Facebook, like, oh, like, it just wasn't great experience, like, you have to be consistent there, and then you also have to be consistent through customer service and the product that you put out, so there's kind of, like, 2 sides to that coin, like, you want to show up authentically, but then you also wanna make sure that you're operating your business the way that you are portraying yourself on social media as well.
Right. There's something that I like to say, and I've been saying a lot. It sounds a little bit cheesy, but who you are is how you lead. So whether it be in
Ooh,
your
girl.
life or your business, yeah, because you are your business. You are the representative, and your business is a reflection of who you are.
Mhm,
So those
mhm.
the clients that I talk to that are like, well, these are the clients that I'm attracting, and this one's an asshole, and this one, doesn't pay their bill on time, and this one is this,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatever. That's you. That is you. That is a mirror of you. So
Yes,
what is it that you need to work on within yourself to attract the customers and the clients that you want to bring into your business?
I
That's a
learned that lesson the
yeah.
hard way. Yeah, I've
Okay.
learned that lesson the hard way. I, about 6 months ago, got so pissed off. I was like, "Why are these people ghosting me? I'm sending them proposals. They're not responding to my follow-ups, all the things." Well, you know what I started noticing? I was the one doing that. I was doing that to other people, like, "Oh, yeah, go ahead and send me your proposal over," and then be like, I'm just whatever, I'm not interested," and I wouldn't respond to them. Literally, what you just said, preach it. Yes, I had to
Yeah.
learn that the
Yeah.
hard way of like, okay, well, if I don't want people, I mean, if I want people doing that to me, why am I doing that to them? If I
Right.
want people to tell me no, why am I not telling people
And
no?
it's
Like, hello?
uncomfortable, right? That's why we avoid
Yeah,
it. Just like,
of
you
course.
know, the people talk about that in dating, right? Like, because the ghost is
Right.
like the biggest thing, right?
Right. Yeah.
But that's exactly what it feels like too. Cause you're like, why isn't this happening?
Yeah.
Because you have to start saying yes to things too, right? Even though
Exactly. Yeah.
as a business owner, sometimes it's hard to say yes when you don't think that you might not have the budget for it, but you know that you
Hmm.
need it. And we're saying this to the people that we're trying to attract as clients too. Like, take a chance on us.
Yep.
A small business
Yep.
owner that's never paid somebody outside of themselves to do something
Yeah.
for,
Right.
it's letting go of a lot of trust or control
Mhm.
over things, even though they'll still have the autonomy and the say and like what's
Right.
being posted and things like that. But like when you're giving up a piece of that, it's hard and they need to be able to trust you. So
Mhm.
if you're showing up like, what is it called? Like the snake oil salesman or whatever, like you're
Mhm.
not going to
Yeah.
gain their trust, right? So you have to be
Right.
yourself. And so much of business and entrepreneurship is a mirror of your own personal growth. And when you're stuck in something and you're not getting the sales, I think that's an opportunity to look within and figure out what it
Mhm.
is preventing that from happening. Thank you for sharing that. That was cool because
Of course.
that's a
Yeah.
prime example. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so on the marketing end, what kind of trend are you like over right now? If that makes any sense. Yeah. I, something came to mind right away. Okay. What is it?
Well, it's not just anything specific. I have like an opinion about trends in
Okay.
general. So I'm not a trend hopper oner. That's what I like to call it. I do not hop on trends like I should, right? You would think like as a marketing person, let's all hop on it. So on TikTok, yes, I think like if you do market on TikTok, absolutely. Like get on that dancing trend, get on that funny trend with the business, like all the things. So you're like popping up and, but when it comes to people trying to put trends on like Instagram or Facebook, like from TikTok, like don't do that. That's kind of annoying. I'm like, it's for TikTok specifically. But there was one this week and it's like writing this letter of "We're so sorry," and, like, it's an apology letter, but it's, like, actually ironic. So it's really like, "We're sorry, we're so good at our job." Like, that's kind of like the
Okay.
thing of this letter. And within 1 hour, I probably saw, like, 45 different businesses post. And so, like, by the time I get to like number 10, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of over it. The first 10, I'm like, no, that's pretty clever. That's cute. Like, that's really. So I think it's like when you see a trend, I always do it like the day after, maybe. So that way you get like your first day, everybody's kind of over it. But then that second day, like, oh my God, I totally forgot people were doing that yesterday. That's so cute. So that's how I view trends at least. Like I'm not against them. I just think the timing of when you post the trend should be relevant to
That's
you. Yeah.
that's interesting. So I'm
Yeah.
like the total opposite of a trend follower, I guess. Like
Yeah.
I like being different. So I like that you said it was a thing. Now I'm going
Yeah.
to do it and then it'll make people kind of go, "Oh,
Yeah.
I saw that," because it makes you stand out a little bit. I like being
Mhm.
different in all
Same.
facets of my life. I
Yeah.
don't like we were talking about the hair and I'm like I just show up the way I am. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to be perfect.
Absolutely.
Sometimes some
Yeah.
days are better than others.
Right.
Anybody with a
Right.
head of hair knows that. You have to can deal with the elements, the humidity,
Yep.
like what's
Yep.
you know what's happening that day, your kids, all of that. Like
Mhm.
did I use the exact right amount of conditioner that morning or not?
Yeah.
So I agree with that, and that's pretty cool. So I'm assuming that you were thinking, well, what you were referring to was on TikTok, right? I'm not really on.
No, so
I
that was
post my
Meta.
stuff that was on Meta. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. That was an actual specific Meta and some big, I don't know what brand started it. There was a bigger brand that started it. And then one of my competitors here, they posted it and it just like pissed me off because I'm like, gross. Like,
Well, was it
don't be
because they're
that
a competitor
person.
or
Yes, it
yeah,
was all of it. Yes, all of it. Yeah. So, and then I was like, why did this pop up on my page? Like, how dare them do their job well? I'm like, you know, but
understandable.
that's just to be funny. Like they did a great job. Like I totally commend them. The whole trend was cute. They did great. They got it viral. That's awesome. I'm not a hater to that extent, trust me. But I'm definitely like you. I don't like to be like everybody else. I prefer
Right.
to do other things for
I think
sure. So,
part of it, because you
yeah.
just mentioned going viral too. Like going viral is cool, but you don't
But is
have
it
to
going to
go
help?
viral. You just need to be visible.
Yes, girl. Preach it.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
because the viral might make you hot for a second. It might not result in a single sale. It's not,
Yes.
but that's not really. the goal, really,
Mm-mm.
I guess it depends on what your
Yep.
goal is, but yeah, you don't need to go viral, you just need to be visible. So,
Mhm.
one last thing that I wanted to ask you is what is the number one thing that small business owners should stop wasting their time on? Like, what is not working?
Oh my, what is not working? Trying to be like their competitors. Like, you be true to who you are and stop trying to be like them. I used to be notorious. I should not say am. I have been very self-aware of it. I used to be notorious of like, oh, this agency is doing this, so I need to do that. One of my competitors hired 6 people at one time, posted all over social media, all these different like job titles. I was like, oh my God, like they did that. Like, I need to do that, obviously. I go out, I hire 5 people, post it all over social media. A month later, had to fire them all because I had no money to hire them all. I had no money to pay them. I did not know what I
Right.
was doing. Like,
Right. Okay.
I felt terrible, but, like, I tried to be like that. So, when I have clients that come to me and they're like, "Well, so and so is doing this, we should do that." No, that's working for them. Let's find something that works for you. What sets you apart from everybody else, and let's focus on that. I think just as a business owner in general, we need to focus on being more authentic to ourselves and less on what our competitors are doing and trying to be like them. Because you don't
Right.
want to be like them. You want to be better than them,
Right.
obviously.
Which is just ties back to what we were just saying. Who you are
Yes,
is
exactly.
is your business, right? So the
Yep.
closer you are to being more your whole authentic self, the better people connect with you. I had that happening earlier this year because I would jump on here, my hair would be all sorts of crazy and make a video. And then there was some people, that follow or whatever kind of doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I even had I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to say anything. I'm just going to keep my head down and keep
Of
doing my
course.
own thing. But I had other business owner friends that call me up and go like, "What are they doing?" And I'm like, "Not my business to even wonder about it, Because
Nope.
yeah, it was working for me because I was being authentically myself because that's who I am.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's a great takeaway. So
Thank you. Yes.
tell us where we can find you and where we can
Hmm.
find your book.
So, my book you can purchase on shelbysmarketingbook.com. Also, if you want free marketing ideas, you can go to 55freemarketingideas.com. It's a download. So if you're a business owner, you need some kind of a foundation there for your marketing, go and download that. And you can find me on socials at the marketing, so MKTG broker, or at bossbabe_Shelby. And both of those are on all the socials.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much. I'm glad that we got to connect. It was really cool.
Yes.
I hope that we stay in touch and we can keep this marketing train going. It was great to meet you,
Absolutely.
Shelby. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been so fun.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope this conversation with Shelby gave you a fresh perspective, a little clarity, and maybe even the confidence to show up in your business in a way that feels more aligned and more you. If you love this episode, please take a moment to share it with someone who needs a reminder that growth in business and growth in life go hand in hand. Make sure you're following the podcast so you never miss an episode. And as always, thank you for being a part of this community. As always, I'm thinking of you and sending you love, and I will see you soon.